Hi guys, welcome to ANIMEized. This is the English translated version of the novel throneofseal. The novel differs slightly from the Chinese animation or donghua. If you want more of these videos, please smash the like button, subscribe, and turn on the notifications. Enjoy and have a blessed day.
A sense of unease welled up in Lao Wu's heart, something he hadn't considered before this moment. He had never thought about the consequences of losing this match. But now, at this very moment, he had no choice but to think about it. He couldn't avoid it any longer. A chill ran down his spine. He could no longer hold back. This young knight was definitely not ordinary. A loud shout erupted from Lao Wu's mouth, followed immediately by his already burly body swelling even further. Giving off an imposing aura like a towering mountain, he went berserk. At the same time, he swung his left arm. A silver light shone beside him, and then, a massive figure instantly grew in size. It was a towering warrior completely covered in armor. However, this warrior had no signs of life. This was the figurine given to him by the sixth sister, a metal golem created through alchemical arts, possessing immense strength, with abilities comparable to a fifth-ranked peak warrior. It wielded dual heavy swords. I can't lose, I absolutely can't lose. With a determined resolve, Lao Wu took a sudden step forward, and the intense green light around him became viscous. His speed and strength skyrocketed. In a flash, he was in front of Long HaoChen, launching a full-force attack. The metal golem circled around from the side, attacking from behind Long HaoChen, delivering a powerful dual-blade strike. All of this happened in the blink of an eye. The whirlwind strike was shattered, and Lao Wu reacted immediately. Long HaoChen didn't engage him head-on again, and instead, he launched another assault. His speed suddenly increased, passing between the metal golem and Lao Wu, escaping their combined attack range. At the same time, a golden light emanated from his chest, and the four-winged light elemental elf, Yating, ascended into the air, her melodious voice reciting an incantation that echoed throughout the arena. The moment Yating appeared, a layer of radiant flames ignited on Long HaoChen's body. What followed was a display of Yating's abilities. The light elemental elf, having undergone 2 evolutions, showcased its formidable support abilities. Skills like Faith Halo, Gift of Protection, Mighty Blow Halo, and Gathering Spirit Halo. These 4 major enhancement skills were cast one after another, nearly every 2 seconds, stacking on top of Long HaoChen, so that the 4 halos under his feet merged into a half-foot thick, exquisite magical pattern. Who wouldn't recognize an elemental furnace? This was one of the best support-type elemental furnaces, and furthermore, all the demon hunters present were the elite of the younger generation within the alliance. They could naturally see that behind Long HaoChen, there was Yating, a high-tier elemental elf standing over 2 feet tall with 4 wings. Yan Wenjiao and Duani were both stunned. Long HaoChen's earlier demon-slaying flash had already left them immensely shocked, and now, witnessing the evolved Yating, they suddenly realized that despite their months of hard work, the gap between them and Long HaoChen had grown even wider. The metal golem lacked intelligence, possessing only combat instincts, and it had already caught up to Long HaoChen when he tried to escape. With a resounding clang, it leaped into the air, launching a jumping cleave towards Long HaoChen. Lao Wu was briefly stunned when he saw the light elemental elf, hesitating for a moment, but his heart grew even heavier. Warriors were already at a disadvantage against knights, but up until this point, this young knight hadn't even summoned his mount. Furthermore, why wasn't his spiritual power being suppressed by me? Could it be that he's also a 5th-ranked peak knight? No, that couldn't be possible. He's still so young, a 5th-ranked peak knight at under 20 years old? That was absolutely impossible. Filled with the determination to win, Lao Wu followed closely, charging towards Long HaoChen alongside the metal golem. A dragon's roar echoed throughout the arena, and it seemed like everyone saw a golden dragon suddenly rise from the ground. Facing the endlessly powerful metal golem, Long HaoChen once again chose to confront it head-on, just as he launched his dragon break strike. The flames of light around his body transformed into the sunfire under Yating's incantation. The throne of seals, you sees it every day. A rich flow of light elements erupted from his chest like a fountain, with eternal melody and the soon-to-evolve holy guiding spirit furnace. Long HaoChen almost possesses the ability of the 6th-level Radiant Knight Spirit Aperture. A strange buzzing and hissing sound echoed in the air, and the entire Knight's trial field was completely illuminated by the rising golden light, as if an additional sun had appeared in the sky. Astonishingly, the towering figure of the metal golem dissolved within the golden light of the dragon's roar, as its body was enveloped by the radiant and holy light akin to the sun, never to reappear again. Lao Wu followed up quickly, right behind him. Trailing behind him was an extended trail of green light. His body surged forward, and the dense green light converged into a form resembling a ferocious tiger, accompanied by a pair of swung battle axes, charging straight for the golden sun in the sky. He knew that this was his last chance. But often, things didn't go as planned. A beam of golden light descended from the sky, and the brilliant sun-like radiance from before condensed into a single beam. All the blue, astonishingly split open by this descending beam of golden light. Dazzling golden light continuously cleaved into the ground before Lao Wu, emitting a thunderous roar. Unparalleled sharpness and golden radiance instantly exploded. Lao Wu's cultivation level, surprisingly, couldn't even put up a struggle against this sharp and luminous spiritual power. His entire body was sent flying over 10 meters by the aftermath before crashing to the ground. The golden light receded, revealing Long HaoChen's true face. He appeared to be slightly out of breath, and his complexion seemed somewhat pale. However, under Yating's enhancing magic, everything quickly returned to normal. After some probing, Long HaoChen realized that this warrior was by no means his match. Lao Wu's abilities were that of a pure wind attribute axe warrior, even after entering a berserk state. His internal and external spiritual power could not possibly surpass the 6th rank. Long HaoChen had never backed down when facing 6th rank demons, let alone Lao Wu, who hadn't even reached the 6th rank yet. Without exceptionally powerful equipment, facing Long HaoChen, who possessed a light elemental elf, he had no chance at all. As for the metal golem, it was, after all, just a puppet, not a real person. It couldn't adapt, and it could only deliver straightforward power. Attacks. The blazing sunfire combined with dragon break. Before it could unleash its full power, its body had already melted. How could it withstand the impact of dragon break that followed? And Long HaoChen's final strike naturally consumed a staggering 1,000 units of spiritual power, the Azura strike. Despite not being fully charged, the terrifying power of the Azura strike remained a force to be reckoned with. If Long HaoChen hadn't held back, Lao Wu's body would have been severed by now. Clang 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 clang, 2 broken heavy axes fell to the ground. The power of the Azura strike combined with the sharpness of Blue Rain, Light Lotus, how could magic grade heavy axes possibly withstand it? Long HaoChen didn't continue to chase, he just watched as Lao Wu, sent flying by the collision, slowly got up from the ground. Lao Wu's current appearance was quite disheveled, his heavy armor had already been shattered by the Annihilation Strike and Azura Strike, and he had lost his weapons as well. However, his berserk state was still active, and his eyes were bloodshot. He let out a roar, charging straight at Long HaoChen. Lao San and Old Six both stood in the rest area with pale faces, their minds had even lost the ability to think. Blue Rain, Light Lotus was withdrawn, and replaced with the Holy Spirit Shield. Long HaoChen took a step forward, and directly blocked with the Holy Spirit Shield. The shield countered the impact. With a resounding crash, it pushed back Lao Wu, who was desperately charging, by 3 steps, and he himself took a step back as well. Even in his berserk state, Lao Wu, without using any skills, still possessed considerable strength. The reason he lost wasn't due to a lack of combat experience. He lost due to his control over spiritual power and his skills. Long HaoChen's self-created skills, combined with the Azura Strike, were considered top-tier secret techniques. Furthermore, as the Son of Light, and with the assistance of the Light Elemental Elf, in a situation where both sides had nearly equal cultivation levels, how could Lao Wu have even a half chance? At this moment, Lao Wu had nearly gone berserk, shouting loudly, "I can't lose! I can't lose!" After being pushed back, he immediately charged forward again, even without any strategy. Dealing with Lao Wu, who had lost his sanity, Long HaoChen didn't need to exert much effort. He simply dodged his head-on charge, and struck directly at his neck with the Holy Spirit brand. Lao Wu let out a muffled groan, and collapsed on the field. The entire arena fell silent. From the beginning to the end of this battle, it didn't take long. The entire process was straightforward, and Long HaoChen achieved a complete victory of overwhelming dominance, without giving Lao Wu any chance at all. Those who participated in this wager and came to watch were mostly members of the Knight and Commander-level demon hunting squads. Long HaoChen, as a newly promoted demon hunter, had actually defeated the previous champion, which meant that he completely disregarded the 5-year gap. He didn't just win merit points, but with this battle, Long HaoChen made Commander-level and Knight-level demon hunters acknowledge him. Commander-level number 8 demon hunting squads Lao San and Old Six quickly entered the arena, helping Lao Wu, who had fallen to the ground. They didn't harbor resentment, but their faces were filled with bitterness. 100,000 merit points, that's a substantial amount, and it wasn't all theirs to begin with. It was borrowed. It could be said that this setback affected their entire team, and they shouldn't even think about aiming for the martial level for at least a year. Moreover, this situation was a decision made by the 3 of them. How would they explain it to the rest of their team? A temple knight approached Long HaoChen, and handed over the merit badge to him. "Well done. Young man, you have remarkable strength. Which demon hunting squad do you belong to?" Long HaoChen replied. "Commander level number 21, thank you, senior judge." After deducting 500 merit points from the 110,000 total, the remaining merit points were all transferred into Long HaoChen's merit badge. To be honest, when he saw the expressions on the faces of Lao San and Old Six, he felt a twinge of guilt. He even considered giving back the merit points he had won. However, in the end, he resisted the urge. It wasn't that he didn't value those 100,000 merit points, but rather, he didn't want to encourage the greed of Commander level number 8 demon hunting squad. Why would they act this way if not to win their own merits? there's always something to blame for the unfortunate. Their loss is a lesson in itself. Moreover, if I return the merits now, how will the betting demon hunters perceive it? Would they think we colluded to deceive everyone? Captain, long live! Members of Commander Level Number 21 Demon Hunting Squad and Soldier Level Number 4 Demon Hunting Squad had already rushed in, entering the arena. Long HaoChen was lifted into the air by the excited crowd. Lao San and Old Six silently left with Lao Wu. Commander Level Number 21, those words, they all heard them. Commander Level, they had actually reached Commander Level, and that young knight was their captain. Lin Xin and Lu Shi quickly calculated their gains from this bet, and distributed the bets to some of the demon hunters who had bet on Long HaoChen, although they were in the minority. Duan Yi and Yang Wenjiao's faces looked a bit unsightly. Each of them had won 3,000 merits in a 130 odds bet, but they still ended up losing 7,000 merits in total. Their once thought to be surefire bet had turned into a disastrous loss. They didn't even linger and left hastily. Soon, Lin Xin and Lu Shi's numbers were tallied. The total amount bet this time was 230,000 merits, with 30,000 being paid out to the winners. They had earned a whopping 200,000 merits in total. The initial investment came from the team's merits pooled by Lu Shi and Lin Xin, and due to the proportion of each side's contribution, as well as Long HaoChen being the subject of the bet, Lu Shi only took 20% of the profits. Even with this arrangement, he still earned 40,000 merits. Lin Xin had earned a considerable amount for Commander Level Number 21 Demon Hunting Squad, and the total merits of the team had exceeded 300,000. Not to mention a Commander Level Demon Hunting Squad, even a Martial Level Demon Hunting Squad, without being a veteran team, wouldn't be able to accumulate so many merits at once. We've hit the jackpot, we really have, ha 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 ha. Lin Xin danced with excitement, her long emerald green hair swaying as if she were dancing the head-shaking dance. Let's go, we're heading back. Today is not the right day to go to the trading center. Long HaoChen waved his hand, pulled caier up, and led everyone back to the villa. Having just won so many merits from other demon hunters, it was not a good time to visit the trading center. Lu Shi and the others left in high spirits. This time, they were even more determined to join Long HaoChen's team. When Long HaoChen and the others returned to the villa, they looked at the excited Lin Xin. Long HaoChen said, "Starting from today, no one should leave the villa. Everyone will meditate in seclusion for 10 days. Lin Xin was taken aback and said, "Captain, is it really that serious?" Long HaoChen gave him a cold look and said, "If you hadn't placed bets, it wouldn't be this serious." Han Yu added the bets were placed by Commander Level and Soldier Level Demon Hunting Squads, and we won almost everyone. For them, a few thousand or even 10,000 merits is not a small amount. Demon Hunting Squads should be allies, not enemies. If we offend them too much, we might end up isolated," Shininer said with some dissatisfaction. "So can't we win against them, and they can't win against us?" Long HaoChen replied. "A tall tree attracts the wind. Even though it's not as severe within our demon hunting squad, we should still keep a low profile. Otherwise, the feeling of isolation won't be pleasant. In short, if all the demon hunters refuse to sell us anything, won't it have an impact on us?" Chun. Iner pouted and fell silent. Long HaoChen continued. "Our total merits have already exceeded 300,000, which means we have enough merits to strengthen ourselves and even promote to the martial level. You've all seen caier's situation, and until she fully recovers, I don't want to take on any more missions. In the next 6 months, I hope everyone can strengthen themselves and strive to reach the 6th rank. If we can succeed, our next mission will be at the level of martial level demon hunting squads. 6th rank?" Except for caier, who couldn't speak, the other 5 looked at Long HaoChen with wide eyes. Lin Xin muttered, "Captain, this is impossible. Right now, we're only at the 5th rank. 2nd or 3rd level. Even if we aim for the 6th rank, perhaps only you and the vice-captain have a chance to succeed. In half a year, breaking through the bottleneck is difficult, and it's unlikely for us to reach the required 4,000 spiritual energy for the 6th rank." Although Long HaoChen had already established authority within the team, what he was saying now was truly unbelievable. The jump from the 5th rank to the 6th rank is another leap, a qualitative transformation. Long HaoChen glanced at everyone and said, "What if we use the Holy Spirit pill? We currently have 300,000 merits, and each Holy Spirit pill costs 10,000 merits. Each of us can have the opportunity to take it once. This kind of pill, the earlier it's taken, the more effective it is. It's perfect for our current situation." Lin Xin smiled bitterly and said, "Captain, I understand what you mean, but what I said earlier, I had already taken the Holy Spirit pill into account. The Holy Spirit pill can raise our spiritual energy to over 3,000, but it's probably difficult to reach 4,000 in just half a year. Moreover, I heard that breaking through from the 5th rank to the 6th rank is several times harder than from the 4th to the 5th rank. Many people linger at the peak of the 5th rank for years without a breakthrough. Is it possible for us?" Long HaoChen fell silent, seemingly contemplating something. Everyone thought he was discouraged by Lin Sin's words. HsoChen quickly said, "Captain, it's no problem for us to meditate for half a year, and we'll reach whatever level we can. Besides, we have so many merits to start with, and we can take on missions after the vice-captain recovers." Long HaoChen shook his head and said, "I have over 70% confidence that we can break through to the 6th rank within half a year. I've thought about it carefully, and I've decided to tell everyone about it, but I hope everyone can keep this secret. Otherwise, if it gets out, it will cause big trouble, and even panic. Our demon hunting squad might not survive." At these words, everyone's faces changed color. Long HaoChen's words were always reliable, so if he said it was serious, it must be very serious. HsoChen had a hot temper, couldn't help asking, "Captain, what exactly happened?" Wang Yuanyuan, who had been silent, suddenly raised her head and said, "Is it related to the cave of fearful wailing, that tower?" Long HaoChen nodded silently. Han Yu took a deep breath and said, "Captain, my grandfather told me that tower seems to be related to." At this point, he paused and then said seriously, "I swear, I will never reveal anything that the captain said today, or I shall face divine punishment and never find peace after death." The others understood as well, and aside from caier, who couldn't speak, they all swore. They all realized the seriousness of the situation, and at the same time, they sensed the opportunity in Long HaoChen's words. After looking around at everyone, Long HaoChen spoke in a deep voice. "Yuan guessed right. I'm talking about that tall tower. In fact, I lied to Lu Shi and the Alliance. With the help of Hao Yu, I entered that tower and discovered its secrets. This tower is called Eternal Slumber." As he spoke, he unbuttoned his shirt, revealing the eternal melody on his chest. Eternal Slumber, also known as the Tower of Eternity, was created by a necromancer named Elix, who called himself the Necromancer Saint, a catastrophe of nature. Inside the Tower of Eternity, there is a powerful death aura. As Han Qian, the leader of the Knights Templar, had said, their team could be called a prince's team, so they naturally knew more than ordinary professionals. When Long HaoChen uttered the 4 words, Necromancer Saint, himself, everyone's faces couldn't help but tense up. At the same time, they recalled the dusty legend. The term Necromancer Saint had a profound impact on the members of Commander Level No. 21 Demon Hunting Squad. Almost everyone's face showed a hint of horror. Long HaoChen cast a protective barrier around them, isolating them from the outside world sounds. He then proceeded to detail his actual experience inside the Tower of Eternity. Since he had already made his decision, he didn't hold anything back. The entire process wasn't complicated, and in less than half an hour, Long HaoChen had narrated the entire process, including the details. The villa fell silent, and you could hear a pin drop. Long HaoChen's account didn't just shock them, it also changed their perception. The fact that the Necromancer Saint Elix was of the light attribute was especially astonishing, leaving them in awe. How could a necromancer be of the light attribute? After narrating, Long HaoChen fell silent, knowing that his companions needed time to digest his words. After nearly a quarter of an hour had passed, Lin Sin finally spoke dryly, saying, "Captain, are you planning to inherit the legacy of this necromancer?" Long HaoChen shook his head and said, "Of course not. Regardless of the necromancer's attribute, he's still a necromancer, and he once brought great calamity to humanity. If it weren't for them, we wouldn't be facing the demon's difficulties right now. How could I possibly learn the abilities of a necromancer?" "Captain, I think you're wrong," HsoChen said. "What's wrong is a person's character, not their abilities. Aren't our current abilities used for killing without making mistakes? Although the name of the necromancer is sinister, if their abilities are used for the righteous path, to fight against the demons, I don't see anything wrong with it. Since the Necromancer Saint chose you as his successor, I think it's a good opportunity that you shouldn't pass up. Just as long as we use it entirely to fight the demons." "No," Han Yu said urgently. "Shima, don't come up with reckless ideas. While what you said makes sense, necromantic magic is still rejected by the Alliance, and it has harmed us humans greatly. If the captain learns necromantic magic, he won't be tolerated by the Alliance. The captain is the son of light. He's the future hope for the Knights Templar. He will undoubtedly become a holy knight." "Do you mean that holy knights are weaker than necromancers?" Shenduana shrugged and said, "Just don't let the Alliance find out. What's wrong with having an additional ability?" Wang Yuanyuan unusually opposed her opinion and said, "I agree with Han Yu. After all, we live within the Alliance, and not learning necromantic magic won't hinder the captain's development. It's better not to take risks." It was a tie, 2 in favor and 2 against, and all 4 of them turned their gaze to Lin Sin. "Don't look at me. I don't have an opinion. I'll support whatever decision the captain makes." Lin Sin spread his hands with an indifferent expression. Long HaoChen had been quietly listening to his comrade's words, nodding in agreement internally. Although there were agreements and disagreements, they all revolved around the question of whether or not to learn necromancy. There wasn't any extreme opposition. "Don't worry, everyone. Just as Han Yu mentioned, I also believe that being able to become a holy knight in the future might not necessarily make one weaker than learning necromancy. I also have no intention of learning it. The reason I disclosed the situation regarding the Tower of Eternity is to inform you, all that. Regardless of whether or not we learn necromancy, the Tower of Eternity is an excellent place for trials. The strike where I killed the 6th rank demon commander and defeated Lao Wu is called Azura Strike. And it was a skill I learned after defeating a skeleton during my first trial in the Tower of Eternity. Furthermore, during the trials in the tower, there are also great benefits for the improvement of our spiritual power. If we use it wisely, the Tower of Eternity can significantly accelerate our progress to the 6th rank. After hearing this, the 5 of them exchanged glances, and expressions of gratitude slowly appeared on their faces, without any pretense. The Tower of Eternity is related to necromancy, making it a sensitive topic. Moreover, the trials inside can significantly enhance our strength. If it were someone else, even among them, would they have shared this secret? None of them could give a definite answer. However, Long HaoChen had shared the secret. How could this selflessness not move them? HsoChen was straightforward in character, and his words were the most direct. Captain, having you as our leader is truly our good fortune. You can rest assured that the secret of the Tower of Eternity will remain buried in our hearts, and will never be leaked. We won't even reveal it to our closest superiors. The other 4 also nodded firmly at the same time. The Tower of Eternity had now become their shared secret, and they were well aware of its sensitivity. This secret could only belong to them. Long HaoChen smiled slightly and said, "Very well, in that case, our primary goal from now on is to enter the Tower of Eternity for trials. However, before that, everyone's strength needs to improve. The first floor of the Tower of Eternity is already designed for 6th rank powerhouses. Although we are a team, it's hard to say what challenges we'll face as a whole. For safety's sake, we need to improve our strength at least. Yuan, in 10 days, you go to the trading center and buy 7 Holy Spirit pills that can increase your spiritual power by 1,000 each. All of you will take them. In the following period, you all need to integrate this sudden increase in spiritual power into yourselves, making it truly your own strength. We have enough merits, and each of you should add at least 1 or 2 brilliant level equipment. After gradually improving your equipment, we will enter the Tower of Eternity for training. We'll decide our next steps based on the training results." Lin Xin said with a worried expression. "Captain, aren't brilliant level equipment too expensive? Even the most basic ones cost 5,000 merits." Long HaoChen chuckled and said, "You're such a money lover. While brilliant level equipment is indeed expensive, their effects are much stronger than spiritual demon level equipment. If we can reach the 6th rank, the benefits of spiritual demon level equipment will be limited for us. Brilliant level equipment can at least allow us to reach the 7th rank. Although our finances may not be enough for a full set of equipment, each of you can at least add 1 or 2 pieces. Your Fire Cloud Crystal is already top-notch, but it needs to be refined. The trading center also has specialized alliance high level alchemists. They can help you with that." Lin Xin sighed and said, "All right, it seems our merits won't have much left after this." Yuan said irritably, "You're such a penny pincher. We are a demon hunting squad, and we earn merits to improve ourselves. The merits only have true meaning when they're converted into combat strength. So, hurry up and convert your merits." The Holy Spirit pills weren't purchased all at once, and the trading center only had 3 in stock of these powerful pills. But they could be ordered. Those who first benefited from the pills' enhancement were Chenyin, HsoChen, and caier, who had lost her 4 senses. Caier, in particular, was the most suitable for spiritual power cultivation. After taking the Holy Spirit pills, the 3 of them immediately entered closed-door cultivation, absorbing the medicinal power to elevate their cultivation. Normally, it would take 7 days to absorb the power of a Holy Spirit pill, but Long HaoChen had set them a minimum of 2 weeks in seclusion. Utilizing the effects of the pills, they would try to comprehend the changes in their spiritual power and further enhance their cultivation. Over the next month, the other 4 ordered Holy Spirit pills arrived one after another. A sign was hung outside the villa, saying, "In closed-door cultivation, please do not disturb." Among the 7 members of Commander Level Number 21 Demon Hunting Squad, apart from Long HaoChen, all of them entered closed-door cultivation. Long HaoChen was also in closed-door cultivation, but he did not take the Holy Spirit pill. The reason was simple: his spiritual power had already reached the peak of the 5th rank during this period, and he could now attempt to break through to the 6th rank. He would only take the Holy Spirit pill after successfully breaking through. As the time went on, Long HaoChen increasingly discovered the power of the eternal melody.